Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Century Countess. In today's video, we are going to be doing a mild get ready with me, and update. So, let's get started. One sec. Today, we are going to be doing a, kind of a casual looking look, because I don't know how long I'm going to be out. I do need to get out because my depression level has gone up, and I'm going to explain why, because we have a lot of good news, we have a lot of bad news. So I think we're going to start with the good news. So the good news, open mic turned out okay this past it was Monday. I normally don't like doing shows on Mondays, and we barely have any of this left, and this is my favorite stuff. This is the Iconic foundation that if you guys heard about in a past video, somebody who worked at the store did not want to sell me for stupid reasons. Long story short, because it wasn't my right shade, and they were like, we're not going to go into that. But if you want to hear that story, it's in I don't know which video, but it's in one of my makeup videos, I think, or a vlog. I don't know which one. I've done so many. But anyway, as I was saying, open mic went well, slightly well, but there were interruptions. There were people coming in, other staff people who were not involved in the event, and they were talking business with the staff people who were involved, not in low tones. So, disrespectful. I also overheard some insanities about, but we're gonna go into that when we get to the bad news. So, I also I'm about to join a LARPing community. So, definitely new characters are coming. I already have an idea, or two, maybe three. Depends. Alright. My drag sister has returned. She is back in Seattle. Sometime soon, when they get settled in their temporary location, we're gonna all hang out. Not sure when. Probably, if not on Halloween, possibly sometime within later of this week, or earlier mid of next. Depends. It depends. So, fingers crossed. Lots of projects, all not part of the video. Not part of the future video, but it will definitely be talked about. Okay. Let me see. Alright, now on to the bad news. So, going back to open mic, like I said, some staff people who are not involved in the event came in, wanting to discuss things, etc., etc. Something else was going on that I didn't know. It felt like a housing inspection, not for us, but just basically for the building itself. So I'm like, okay. Oh my god. Alright, this is very interesting. Okay, so, that's a little too intense. It's cool, but it's a little too intense. Let's just try to make that less intense, shall we? It's cool, but it's not great for this foundation. Okay. Can you tell that I'm stressed out? Okay, anyway, as I was saying, they came in, they were talking about stuff, yada yada. More people came in, and I just found out there's a possibility they're trying to make everything we need to do, from maintenance reports to paying rent, all online. I don't like that idea. Maybe once upon a time I would, but I don't like it now, and the reason why I don't like it now is because I've been hearing a lot of stories, and they say it's been coming from staff's mouths, because people talk here, including staff, and it gets to residents, and then the residents spread it around, and then you'll get confirmation from other staff people who will literally confirm. Or you'll walk in and you'll see them talking to somebody about it, and you'll get your confirmation there. But, oh Lord, this is looking so dirty. But, so focused on this makeup. It's very... I am sorry, you guys. Okay. But anyway, the reason why I don't like it is because our manager and the person above them, who is known for crazy ideas that are unauthorized, is under suspicion of fraudulence and other stuff. And there's been stories about residents, being hacked, for those who have already done online stuff, pay stuff online. I feel like this is bullshit, because what if we move? What if we move? That information is still there. That information is still available. Seriously. So I don't want to do it, and if it's something that's like everyone's forced to do it, that's bullshit. That is pure bullshit. Alright, okay. Next step, okay, so I don't want to do it. I seriously do not want to do it. And I hope I'm not made to do it, because seriously, I'd rather pay how I've been paying, where I feel slightly safe, slightly in control. I don't want to do something where there's possibility somebody who's overseeing it, is under suspicion of fraud and all this other shit. You can see it. It's stupid. It's stupid. And there are people here who do not use internet. There are people here who do not have internet. There are people here who are not internet intelligent. Not making fun of any people, but there are people who do not want internet in their life. The closest thing to a modern day item is a phone. That's all they want. They don't want the internet. They don't want anything. And you're forcing these people to do something against their will just to survive, just to live here. Because if that's the case, then you guys are like, well, not that you guys, but those guys are like, the person who thought of that stupid idea is like, okay, you're like literally forcing people who don't support that stuff, who don't know about that stuff, and making them do something that they're not comfortable with. They don't want to. They don't support it for special reasons. It's like, because all of us know like what the old days were like back before cell phones became a thing, before tablets, before actual computer stuff. People used to do activities, board games and everything. Now it's this. And some people who don't support it. Some people who don't want that in their house. And in all honesty, I think a maintenance report through paperwork is much easier, because seriously, it's like, if they want us to do it online, we can write it in an email. But just be like, give us an email. So it's like, if we have an issue. In all honesty, I think they're just trying to make it so front desk is just sitting around doing nothing. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're just wanting, somebody at the front desk is complaining that there's not enough time to be lazy. And I just feel like, okay, well, why do we have a front desk? Because that's basically what the front desk does. We make requests for maintenance reports, rent slips, you name it. But the more that they keep taking, it's like the more they keep doing this shit, the more it's like, why do we have a front desk? Because lately the front desk only, I've seen front desk shop on Shein when they're supposed to be observing. And then they wonder why people are somehow getting in the building that are barred. Well, you're basically giving them no job to do. So what do? They look on their phone. They talk with their friends while working. There's a lady who works the evening shift. I don't know her name. All I know is that I have to literally be loud to get her attention, because she's hiding. She's hiding, and then she's looking down, and not once, not twice, but 3 or 4 times I have to repeat my room number because she keeps messing it up. And it's like, I'm surprised. How did she get number 8? I'm not going to say my room number, but how did she get number 8 when I said number 1? And she's saying number 8. How did 8 sound like a 1? That's how unattentive they are. And another reason why they're so unattentive is I had to buzz Amazon in last night because they were like so zoned out. And the guy rode up on the elevator with me, and I said, "This is what happens when you live in a slum building." I don't know what he mentioned afterwards, but if he was asking me why I live here, I have no choice. I'm low income. I am waiting for better housing, but you have to kind of tolerate where you are at the moment while you're waiting for better housing. I will admit, this place used to be really good, but things have just gone to hell. Let me wash my hands real quick. Alright, my hands are washed and I got more stuff I gotta share. So, another thing is, as you guys know, I changed my health insurance. And after some dramatic incidents with my past pharmacy, I changed my pharmacy I had changed my pharmacy, and let's just say the service there has been faster. Like literally, when I fill out a prescription, instead of them giving me a date like, your prescription will be available on the 31st, the prescription was available later that day. So much better, you guys. I love the place. I love the new pharmacy. But I'm still getting letters from my new health care, and I'm just getting very overwhelmed. It's like 3 or 4 papers every day. 3 or 4 papers. 4 phone calls almost every other day. And it's like the same thing. And it's like I'm trying to look at all this shit that I'm being mailed to see if there's anything I need to do. And they would keep mailing me more shit. And then it gets better. Another thing came up. And you guys, I'm going to be honest. There's this organization. I can't say what it's called. I don't want to get in trouble. But it's really good. It's really good. Thank goodness. I hope it's not become mandatory. But basically what you do is you fill out information. You show proof of income. And depending on how you use your electricity, water, etc., you will get a check for the amount of, for the amount of money that you, I don't know, for not using so much electricity, not using so much water, that type of thing, for lack of a better word. It's very helpful. But you guys, the packet they send you, it's overwhelming. Because you have the packet that you need to fill out, then you have all these other offers, then you have all this other shit. And with my mind, because I'm autistic, it's overwhelming. And I'm not asking somebody to fill out my paperwork. All I'm asking is for somebody to kind of help me understand, like, look at the paper, rip the parts that I don't need out and throw those away, keep the parts that I need to fill out, explain the little bits here and there that I need help with. But the worst part is the sign-up sheets. Sometimes they're updated, sometimes they're not, and when you try to get around it, when you need to see the front desk, they're hardly there. That's why I don't want them to do everything online, because the moment they do that, front desk can do whatever they want. It's like, what else are they supposed to do? Because they no longer need to give residents papers for maintenance reports, grievances, you name it. They no longer need to do they no longer need to do A, B, and C. So what are they doing? They're just sitting there. I'm sorry, I'm itching. So, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that I heard wrong. I'm hoping if I did hear what I thought I heard, it's optional, where you can still do paper form, and it's not going to be made a requirement to do stuff online, because there are people who do not, like I said, they do not have internet. They do not want internet. They have a phone, a cell phone, but they're not going to play with the internet or anything. And you can't force people to accept a form of modernism they don't want. Because, like I said, there are some people who do not tolerate, let's say the elderly. The elderly want to visit with their grandkids. The elderly want to spend time with their grandkids. The elderly don't want to sit there just staring at their grandkids while they're doing this with their tablets and their little game bots, you know. So, yeah. But they're not understanding that. At least I hope they'll understand. But let's see what else is going on. So anyway, that paperwork that I mentioned, I'm not going to do it. I've never done it in the past. It's never been mandatory. I've only done it like 2 or 3 times, and I've only received a check once. And I was told I got a confirmation 3 times in a row that a check was on the way, but only 1 out of the 3 came. So I'm not worried about it because it's just too much right now. Because 1, I have to get ready for a LARP, so I gotta make an outfit or 2 for that. I have to finish the Halloween projects because we only have the rest of this week and next. I gotta look at paperwork. I gotta finish looking at paperwork. I gotta look to see if there's anything I have to do, anything extra I have to do to basically make sure my new health insurance is secure. I have other stuff I have to do. And I'm getting very overwhelmed because I'm trying to enjoy my life, but it's like I can't enjoy my life if I'm constantly being overwhelmed. So I'm just trying to catch up, but it's hard to not catch up when you're like, you need to fill this out, you need to fill that out. And then you have, like, for example, the person that I mentioned a while back. I'm not going to say his name, so we'll just give him the nickname John Doe. Annoying John Doe. Annoying John Doe keeps saying, you need to fill it out, you need to fill it out. He doesn't work here. He's a resident. But he used to live with me in transitional housing, and he used to be part of the EC community. And ever since then, he feels like he has a superior authority. You need to fill it out. You need to fill it out. It's important. You need to fill it out. And then even though when it's all over and done with, when it's like, you know, sign-ups are done, fill-outs are done, you have to wait till next year, he's still talking about it. It's like mind your own business. I am so nice, you guys. It's like, I do not like confrontation. And it's like, I just know that if I say, mind your business, shit's gonna happen. Because I've known this guy, and I've seen him when he's in pissed off mode. So, I gotta figure out something. Also, I don't like it when somebody's hinting at basically saying you've lived here too long. Because literally, I just don't appreciate somebody coming up to me and being like, there are these opportunities in Tacoma, and you've lived here for about, 10 years? He's talking to me like he's a staff person, and he's not a staff person. And then, just last year, they're bragging about, they just got into a housing program, but they're still here. They are still effing here. And here they are acting like I've overstayed my welcome. This is not temporary housing. This is permanent housing. This is shitty housing, but it's not temporary. People encourage people to move out, but they're not like this guy who's like basically acting like they're part of the staff community, basically hinting that you kind of overstayed your welcome. Dude, I've lived here longer than you, and I've been very peaceful. I've kept to myself. And if anyone overstayed their welcome or overstepped, it's you. I would love to say that to him. So my plan is, the next time he brings up Bird's Bar or tries to encourage me, the first thing I'm just going to say, well, I wish you a good day, but that's my business. That's my business. Please focus on your business. Please. And then if he brings up housing, I'm going to be like, well, I'm working on my housing. You work on your housing. I'm going to try to leave it at that. I'm basically going to say, in a way, it's a nice way of basically saying, mind your own business. Mind your own effing business. And if it doesn't help, I'm just going to be like, can you please mind your own business? Because it sounds like I'm focusing on my business. I don't need advice on how to run my business. If you must know, I am working on housing just as much as you're working on housing. It's not instant. I'm sorry, it's not instant. So, I'm just asking you if you could just, mind your own business. You've told me for the past few years what A, B, and C is, and I'm kind of tired of hearing about A, B, and C, please. So, I wish you a great day, but please, mind your own business. You don't need to preach it to me 24/7 or whenever you see me, because there's time, especially when it's done and over with until next year, when you need to focus on your own housing. And all I can say is, the next time they mention places in Tacoma, I'm going to flat out say, is that where you're moving to? Because I will be honest, it's like I overheard him talking smack about Tacoma. So if he makes a motion for me, suggestion I should say, to go to Tacoma, I'm going to flat out say, is that where you're moving to? And if he pauses and he says no, and I said, well, why don't you look into that? Why don't you? And if he mentions why, I'm going to flat out say, that's exactly why I will not go to Tacoma. So quit encouraging me to go to Tacoma, because it sounds like you're trying to encourage me to fill out apps for Tacoma, when you yourself just mentioned you're not going to sign up for Tacoma because it's not a safe environment. Or a safe area, I should say. So, I've already signed up for some places. I'm already looking into some places. I'd appreciate it if you mind your own business. Bye-bye. But it's just pure bullshit, you guys, that you have people thinking like that, and then you're literally, if you want to be some sort of supervisor, volunteer. But sometimes you overstep your boundaries. There are some people, and then it's like, when it sounds like they're not, it's like, for example, I think he senses that I'm getting very annoyed with him, or I get very annoyed with the, conversation that I kind of find myself cornered in, and he starts, saying, you need to do it, accusing me of, being lazy about it, secretly, hinting at it. All I can say is, this dude doesn't know me. He only knows me for rumor. Back in the days when we were in transitional housing. All I could say is, he probably thinks I'm a deadbeat. I don't know who put that in his head. But lately, it's so funny how people think I'm a deadbeat. And I'm not a deadbeat. I do shit. But they don't see it. They don't see what I volunteer as something. They just see it as playtime or something. I don't know. It's like they have their idea of what volunteer work is, and it could be something from labor or time consuming to what I do is labor and time consuming. I'm putting my body on the line to go into a character, literally portraying a character, performing a show, spending an hour or two with people, dancing around. It is labor, because literally I'm doing basically working out as I perform, putting money into a costume, putting effort into a skit to make sure it's perfect. And they don't see it as labor work. They see it as shit. They see it as nothing. They see it as something else. So it's frustrating that these people don't see. They think they have an idea of what one thing, what labor work is, and then they see then the other thing that is labor work. They don't see it as labor work. It is. Anyway, it's been 30 minutes. I am fully ready. I just got to put on my shoes and grab my bag and head out the door. Well, and my sunglasses too. And head out the door because seriously, I need to get out for a few hours. I have $7 in my name. 8 if you add the extra dollar that I'm going to use for tax. I need to go and buy some things for tomorrow. And fingers crossed I get paid this week. Hopefully tomorrow. I would love to get paid tomorrow. If not, I'd love to get paid Friday. Literally, if not tomorrow, Friday, because that would be great, because I got one more bill I gotta pay, and plus November is going to be very, very hell bound because we are probably not going to get our food stamps. We are going to have to be very frugal, and plus we have to get ready for Gothmas. So we have to buy Gothmas gifts. I like to buy Gothmas gifts early and get them all over with. Or at least start buying Gothmas gifts. And get that all out of the way. Also, I have to also prepare for some crazy shit happening in December. So the stress levels as November winds down, when November comes and when it's close to go, it's going to be my nightmare month. So, all I hope is that there's no more bullshit. So far, there's been some good news. I will share that in a later video, possibly today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.